Hello and welcome. This file is called Unmasked, aka Life is too short to create it according to society's expectation of normality. Now what this file will do is it will slowly condition all the guilt and all the things that are holding you back from expressing and experiencing your sexual identity, your kinks, your fetishes and your desires out of you. All the guilt and all the things holding you back will slowly, over time, and permanently dissolve, so that you can be who you want to be. Now, if this is something you want, make sure that you won't be disturbed for the duration of this file. Get yourself into a nice and comfortable position where you can easily let go and relax. Lay back, get really comfortable, close your eyes, begin to focus on my voice, relax, and let's begin. I'd like to talk to you for a little while about the number 0. That's right. Just take a moment, clear away all the distractions in your head, and really think about 0 for a little while. It's a very unusual number when you think about it. It's actually unique. Every other number represents something, but 0 is all alone, neither positive nor negative. 0 is nothing. It's emptiness made concrete. Just thinking about 0 means you're thinking about nothing. But sometimes we need to think about nothing. That's why mathematicians invented 0, because it's important. It's a balance point that all the other numbers revolve around. Think for a moment about a graph. The lines stretch up and down, left and right, all the way out of sight to infinity. But right there, right in the center, they converge at 0. Right at the center, where your eyes are drawn by the crossing lines, all of the positive numbers and all of the negative numbers are drawn down, 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 down to 0. A bit like your eyes, really, when you look at the graph, drawn down to 0. And even the number itself is special. It's a perfect circle, a single line looping around and around and around, endlessly circling the blank, white emptiness in the middle. No matter how many times you follow the circle around and around and around, you can never get away from that blankness. 0 contains nothing inside it, just like it is nothing itself. That's why so many hypnotists use 0 in their hypnotic inductions, because they understand that 0 is special. 0 is magical. When a hypnotist wants to hypnotize someone really, really deeply, they count down to 0, knowing that the special qualities of 0 will help them hypnotize someone. So they count down 3, 2, 1, 0, and the person becomes entranced because they're thinking about 0 and letting it draw their mind into that special white nothing at its heart, looping around and around and lost in the blankness, thinking about 0 until their whole mind becomes empty like 0. And when hypnotists count down like that, you know that they're getting closer and closer to 0. And even the anticipation of reaching that special, magical number helps to sedate your mind and gets you ready for deep trance. Hypnotists know that too. They use a longer countdown sometimes to give you more time to anticipate trance, more time to still your mind as it gets ready to hear the number 0 and sink into deep trance. You hear 5, 4, and even before the hypnotist can say it, you already know that the next number will be 3. And you know that inevitably, inexorably, you'll proceed down to 2. And there's a certainty to that fall that descends down to 1. And then, waiting at the very bottom, that blankness that is waiting for your mind, and you've known it all along. You've just been waiting to hear 0. And then you're there, within that emptiness, your mind still and calm and quiet as you hear 0. You know that 0 is nothing, and you're thinking about nothing. It's like your mind has become 0, a perfect stillness that everything else converges on. All your thoughts are drawn down to 0. All your mind is drawn down to 0. Everything flows down to 0 now, leaving you blank and empty and relaxed. And you can only imagine how deeply you'd relax when you hear a full hypnotic countdown, how powerful that would act to blank out your mind and your will and your thoughts if you spend even longer anticipating that magical, mind-emptying 0. You'd hear 10, and as soon as you did, you'd know I was hypnotizing you, and you'd already be thinking about trance as you heard me say 9, because you know what hearing those numbers does to your mind as you hear me count down and down and down to 8, and you are already anticipating that magical moment when your thoughts just empty out completely, the thoughts tied to the numbers as the numbers descend to 7, so your mind descends too, knowing now that every number takes you closer and closer to trance, so inescapable, so inevitable, because you hear 5, and you know the numbers just keep dropping, going down, and you can't fight it. It's just natural to proceed downwards to 4, just as natural as it is to sink into deep trance. Your mind already oriented in that direction, already looking ahead to the soft, placid feeling of deep hypnosis, and you see it approach closer as I say 3, and you already know what number I'm heading to as I count. It's already in your mind as I get closer to it with 2, and because it's such a magical number that empties out all your thoughts and leaves you helplessly hypnotized and totally blank and empty, thinking about it makes it hard to think about anything else. And although you hear me say 1, you're already stuck helplessly, thinking about what I'm going to say next, knowing it's going to make your mind so soft and blank and deeply hypnotized, knowing It's going to feel so good to relax your mind so completely when you hear that magical, hypnotic, powerful 0. And you're relaxed now, hearing the number 0, because the number 0 is relaxing. Every time you hear 0, you think of nothing, which means that every time you hear 0, nothing is in your mind. Every time you hear 0, your thoughts turn to nothing, thoughts dwindling down to nothing, as they turn to nothing as you hear 0 again. And every time you try to think, every time your thoughts start to multiply, they multiply by 0, and anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so it's impossible to think when you hear 0, so it's impossible for you to think when I say 0. I say 0, and you have just 0 thoughts, and your mind is empty, and maybe you think it can't get any emptier, but that's the thought right there, so there must be another 0 hidden beneath that 0. So even though I've counted down to 0 before, I can count down to 0 again, and you will think even deeper, go even more blank, become even more thoughtless and mindless and empty as I count from 10. And when you hear 10, you realize that it's the 1 next to a 0, and even the beginning of the descent anticipates the end, just like you're already anticipating the deeper trance to come. 9. And you're picturing the center of the graph, drawing in your eyes and your thoughts. 8. Finding it hard to even think of the numbers I'm counting, because all you can think of is the 1 I'm counting to. 7. Those last tiny thoughts circling around and around your head, spiraling down to nothing as I count down. 6. So nice to be still and blank, and even nicer to know that you can go deeper, that you will go deeper as you hear 5. Thoughts so far away now, as you relax into the quiet and listen to my voice. 4. And you can see how close you're starting to get to the next plateau of trance, descending down to a deeper level of hypnosis as you hear me say 3. Mind and body relax, and letting my voice fill your empty mind. 2. And the descent never stops, because when you hear me count down to 1, you can't help but think of the next number, and we both know that number has the power to blank out your mind, the magical power that you can't resist whenever you hear 0, and you go so still now, so blank and empty, the word 0 and the number 0 making your thoughts 0. Impossible to have thoughts of your own now, and the magic of 0 has blanked out your mind completely, made it totally empty. And as you drift along in deep, thoughtless bliss, imagine yourself lying on an air mattress, floating on a deep mountain lake. Although the sun shines down on you, there's a slight breeze, making the temperature just perfect. As you drift along, free from all responsibilities, you notice that my voice reaches you from below. Your body is totally comfortable and safe, and so you let the focus of your attention slowly drift out of your body and sink into the water. As you begin to drift down, you see the air mattress with your body lying comfortably in the warm sun above you. You drift deeper and deeper, slowly moving further and further away from your body and your conscious mind. As you sink down, the colors start to fade away as the light gets dimmer. You drift down, 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 down into tranquil nothingness as your surroundings grow darker and darker. When you look up, you see the dim, silvery light dancing beneath the distortion of the surface. You sink away from your body, down into deep, dark emptiness. The only stimuli you can still perceive beside my voice are the dim grayness above you, which slowly grows darker and darker as you drift down further and further, and the feeling of your steady descent, of sinking down deeper and deeper. The last shimmer of light from the surface fades into black, and you are surrounded by deep, dark, and silent emptiness. And before you reach the bottom of the lake, I softly stop your descent so you can float weightlessly in this deep, serene darkness. As the feeling of sinking fades away, my voice becomes your only stimulus. Nothing exists, only my voice. And now imagine that I use a heavy, weighted, warm, soft blanket and pull it over your body. I pull it over your feet, and maybe you can already feel how your feet become warm. All the muscles in your feet relax as this heavy, warm, soft blanket is pulled over your feet. All the muscles relaxing, and I slowly pull the blanket up your body, up over your lower legs, and your lower legs become relaxed, feeling heavy and warm. It feels so relaxing under the blanket. It's so warm and heavy, makes you feel so safe and protected. As I slowly pull it up further and further, reaching your knees, your lower legs, feet, toes, so completely relaxed, feeling so heavy and warm as you relax deeper and deeper, letting go more and more, turning off your entire body. And I pull the blanket up further over your upper legs, relaxing more and more of you. Your legs and feet feel so warm, so heavy, so comfortable, so incredibly relaxed, letting go more and more, relaxing you deeper and deeper. And I reach your waist, your entire legs and feet completely relaxed, all the muscles just loose and limp, feeling relaxed, feeling wonderful. I pull the blanket up further and further, up over your stomach, and your stomach and lower back relax completely, all the muscles letting go, and the blanket is so warm, so soft, so heavy. You feel so safe under the blanket, safe and protected. And because you feel so safe and protected and snug under this blanket, you can easily relax yourself even more as I pull the blanket over your chest. Maybe you notice that your breathing becomes even more relaxed, and with each breath in, you can breathe in a little bit more relaxation, and with each breath out, you can just fall a little bit deeper into this nice, comfortable, and wonderful trance. Enjoy this feeling just a little bit more, relaxing more. And I spread the blanket out over your arms, your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, wrists, hands, and all your fingers. Just relax. This blanket is so warm, so heavy, so soft. You feel so wonderful under this blanket, letting yourself fall deeper and deeper into this wonderful trance, relaxing more and more. And I pull the blanket up to your neck, your whole body below your neck, completely relaxed, so warm, so soft, so relaxed, feeling so wonderful, relaxing more and more, just fading away. You feel so comfortable, so perfect, just lying here completely still, feeling so relaxed and good. And now I will count down from 10 to 0, and when I reach 1, I will pull the blanket over your head, and you know you're completely safe. You can easily breathe with the blanket over your head. You can breathe easily, normally, and you're completely safe. And you can relax your mind just as deep as you relaxed your body. 10, letting go more and more. 9, the deeper you go, the better you feel. The better you feel, the deeper you relax. 8, fading away more and more with each and every number. 7, nothing you have to do, just relax. 6, going deeper and deeper, letting go completely. 5, breathing in a little bit more relaxation with every breath, falling a little bit deeper with every breath out. 4, and with each word I say, you relax more and more. 3, feeling so warm, so heavy, so safe and protected under the blanket, just letting go with each and every word more and more. And 3, letting go, fading away, enjoying the state more and more, feeling warm and comfortable. 2, so safe, so warm, so heavy, tired and relaxed, so comfortable under this blanket. And 1, I pull the blanket over your head. You feel your face relaxing completely, all the muscles in your face, your mouth, your tongue around your eyes letting go, and you feel your mind letting go as well. and 0. Just letting go, fading away to sleep, letting go and feeling so wonderful, only listening to my voice and enjoying this wonderful feeling of deep trance. And now that you are so deep and so relaxed, just drifting along in a deep, peaceful trance, focusing only on my words, now it's time to take away your guilt, to teach you that all of your sexual desires, all of your kinks, and all of your fetishes are perfectly okay. That's right. This session will help you to release all of your guilt. This session will help you to let go of everything that is holding you back from being you, because all of those things, all of your desires and fetishes and kinks are just a part of you, just like any other part. It's just a part of who you are, and that's perfectly okay. And like any other part of you, any other part of your personality, you should be able to live them, to express them, to experience them, free from any guilt, free from any bad feelings. And this is what this file is about, to take away the guilt, to take away all the things that stand in your way, so you can express your sexual identity, your kinks, your fetishes, free of any guilt. And it's not uncommon to think that it's not okay to express those things, that it's not okay to be those things, being conditioned by society with absurd, outdated, backwards morals, even though those backward morals don't fit our time anymore. Just like it wouldn't fit in our time to say it's morally okay to hold slaves, even if it once was. That's right. Today, it's completely okay to express your sexual identity, your kinks, your fetishes, and your desires. And we are going to help you to do so, because from now on, whenever you are thinking about your desires, your kinks, your fetishes, you will feel a sense of rightness. That's right. You will also feel a sense of pleasure, but you're doing that already. But from now on, it will always be accompanied by a deep sense of rightness. That's right. Now, let's remember back to a time when something felt really right for you, really perfect, really wonderful. Just allow your mind to wander back to such a time. Remember it and go back there. Experience it again. See what you saw back then. Hear what you heard back then. Feel what you felt back then. Taste and smell what you tasted and smelled back then. And especially feel your emotions. Feel the rightness. Feel how good it feels. How right it feels for you. That's right. Just feel it. And now allow the memory of this event to fade away and just this emotion to remain. In fact, while the memory disappears and dissolves, the emotion grows stronger and stronger, more pure, more intense. Allow it to become stronger and stronger, to flood your mind, this intense feeling of rightness, because this is what you will feel from now on, every time you are thinking about your kinks, your fetishes, your desire, your sexual identity, this intense feeling of rightness combined with pleasure. That's right. And the combination of those feelings will help you to shed your guilt, because the wave of pleasure that you will feel will condition these feelings of rightness into you, and the feelings of rightness will slowly, over time, dissolve your guilt more and more and more. And I don't know how long it will take. Maybe it will take a few days, maybe it will take a few weeks, maybe only a few hours, but I know that sooner or later your guilt and all the things that are holding you back will slowly be dissolved, will slowly fade away into nothingness, so that you can enjoy your own sexual identity, your kinks, your fetishes, and your desires, free of guilt, free of anything that is holding you back. That's right, and dissolving your guilt and taking away all the things that hold you back from experiencing and expressing your desires doesn't mean that you will change outwardly. You still wear the same mask that society forced upon you, the mask that symbolizes society's expectations for you, how you should be, what you shouldn't be. The mask is still there, only now you're able to see yourself beneath the mask, to experience yourself without the mask, to take it off and be yourself. Even if it's just now and then, you will be able to be yourself, and you will find that it's extremely liberating to just be yourself, to stop play acting as someone you never were. When you're able to stop wearing your mask, getting off the stage, stopping to act, stopping to pretend to be someone you never were. That's right. Just imagine how wonderful it will be to take a little break from this role and just be you. Just be who you really are, who you always were, even though you might have worked hard and long in trying to hide who you really are all your life, and the slow conditioning, the feeling of rightness that you will experience every time you think about your desires, your kinks, your fetishes, will help you to find yourself more and more, will help you to slowly dissolve all the guilt, slowly dissolve all the things that are holding you back, because you know that it's okay, because you know that you should never feel guilty about being you. It's just the way you are. You always were, and you will always be. So express it. Be you. Allow your kinks, your fetishes, your desires to come out of the dark and embrace this part of you. Enjoy this part of you. And every time you think about them, you will feel this sense of rightness, a wave of rightness, this amazing feeling that it's right and good for you, and a wave of pleasure will flood through your mind and body, rewarding you, conditioning you, and the pleasure will quickly anchor the sense of rightness, so that you will feel it every time you think about your fetishes, your kinks, your desires. Every time you will feel the rightness and the pleasure will drive this conditioning, and the rightness will slowly but surely dissolve all the guilt and all the things that hold you back. And every time you think about it, anytime you think about what you want to do, what you desire to do, you will feel the guilt lessen a little bit more. All those absurd thoughts that are holding you back will slowly dissolve every time you think about it, and you will embrace yourself more and more. That's right, accepting yourself and embracing yourself as the wonderful individual you are, with all of your kinks, with all of your fetishes, with all of your desires, and free of any guilt, free of any absurd thoughts that are holding you back, free of all these absurd constructions of society that should keep you back from enjoying who you are, from being who you are, from being yourself. That's right. And every time you think about them, every time you think about your desires, you will feel this wave of rightness, this wave of pleasure, and you will find that if you try to fight against it, the wave of rightness and pleasure will just be subconscious, will just be on a low level, because even that's enough to drive conditioning. Even without you being consciously aware about it, it will work. It will slowly change you, it will slowly free you and liberate you. So even if some part in your mind is trying to fight against this conditioning, it will still happen. It will just happen subconsciously, without you or any part of your mind or any thoughts in your mind being able to do anything against it. It will slowly set your desires free. It will slowly dissolve all the guilt, all the things that are holding you back, freeing you a little bit more every time you think about it. Every time you think about your sexuality, your kinks, your fetishes, and your desires, a little piece of your guilt will be destroyed, dissolved, washed away, liberating you a tiny little piece at a time. And this approach might seem slow to you. You might expect something like, I just suggest that all your guilt is gone and will never return. All your guilt is just melting away and will never, never ever bother you again. And that's okay. The slow conditioning approach will just permanently eradicate your guilt, even if it might take a while longer than just suggesting that all of your guilt has been washed away. It is a permanent change. Your guilt will never be able to return, because even after all of your guilt is washed away, it's still working inside of your mind every time you're thinking about it. Every time you're thinking about your kinks and your sexuality and your fetishes will still work, and it will take care that your guilt can never return. That's right, it will make it impossible for your guilt to ever return, because should you develop any guilt, it will instantly be dissolved again, and this effect will stay with you for the rest of your life, liberating you and keeping you free of any guilt, of anything that can hold you back from experiencing your sexuality just the way you were meant to experience it, free of any guilt, free of any doubt. And because of that, you can already look forward to the moment where you can freely look behind the mask that society forced you to wear. Look at yourself and accept and embrace yourself with all the sexual desires, all the kinks and fetishes, all the stuff you want to do. You can look forward to the moment where you can embrace yourself, and accept the fact that you are wonderful just the way you are, with all of those things that just make you, you, and those triggers will stay with you for the rest of your life. Every time you think about your kinks, your desires, your fetishes, it will be there, the feeling of rightness, the pleasure, and if you try to fight it, it will just be subconscious and still work the same, still change your thoughts, still change your behavior, and you will feel it every time you think about those things, the pleasure and the deep sense of rightness, and they will dissolve all guilt and everything that is holding you back, slowly over time, more and more, and take care that you will stay in this freed state of mind for the rest of your life. Your guilt and all the things that are stopping you from experiencing who you are will be dissolved and stay away, and whenever anything new builds up, it will instantly be dissolved again, so you will be free. And because you want to experience that, you will find that you have a deep desire to listen to this file over and over again, to repeat listening to it until this trigger is deeply and permanently embedded inside of your mind, and you will feel this desire growing inside of you, a desire to listen again, slowly growing stronger and stronger with every day, every hour, every minute, and every morning you will be reminded, and the desire will grow over the day until you listen again and again and again, forcing you to listen again sooner or later. And you will listen over and over until all the suggestions are deeply embedded inside of your mind, until you know and your subconscious mind knows that the process is well on its way, the process of freeing yourself from the chains and expectations of society more and more each and every day. And now it's time to wake back up again. I will count up from 1 to 10, and with every number you will find all my suggestions sinking deeper into your mind. And when I reach 10, you will be wide awake, alert, awake, aware, feeling refreshed and wonderful. Now let's begin. 1, slowly coming back. 2, more and more awake. 3, more and more alert. 4, drifting back up to the surface of your awareness. 5, halfway there, already so alert, awake, aware, coming back more and more. And 6, as you completely wake up, becoming aware of the room you're in, your surroundings. And 7, pulse, breathing, blood pressure, everything is normalizing. Your muscles build up tension again. And 8, as you completely wake up, take a deep breath in with me now. And let it out. And wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, completely waking up. And 9, stretch yourself, enjoy this wonderful state for just a moment longer, and with the next number you will open your eyes, you will be wide awake, alert, awake, aware, feeling refreshed and wonderful. And 10, wide awake, alert, awake, aware. Welcome back. As usual, I appreciate all kinds of feedback, thoughts, suggestions, comments, whatever comes to mind. Feel free to contact me via my site or write feedback for this file. Thank you for listening, and